I told y'all we got a special interview today. Special one. Rejections and redirection. I can't wait for you guys to hear this one. Listen up, man. I got a special guest. I'm about to ping this room up and share this room up and wait for people to come through. Rihanna, you early, right? I'm waiting for Vassy to pull up. I'm waiting for Andrea to pull up. I'm waiting for the Media Mentors crew to pull up. It's gonna be one of those rooms where we really dive in. Marisol's here early, right? Like everybody's here. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's gonna be a great, great room. Like I really want y'all to know, it's gonna be fire, right? Andrea's here, right? We just waiting for Vassy to pull up. As soon as she pulls up, man, listen, I'm gonna have everybody get up. So just give me a minute. Me and Andrea, we getting this together. But Vassy will be here any moment. You understand? We do the biggest rooms. When we do this shit and we do it intentionally. I'm not just doing a room just to do it. If I take the time out of my day to do a room, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be nothing but heat. You understand? So let's ping this up. Let's share this up, cause y'all know 2 p.m. This is like my golden. It's like my favorite time to come up on here to go crazy. Shay, come up here. Nick, thank you for being here. Marisol, Rihanna, one, we just getting started, but I really need you guys to know, right? Man, I was listening to her music last night, Andrea. I'm bumping this last night, right? You got me bumping it. I'm listening. I'm like, yo, I cannot wait to hear more from this person that made this music, made these legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I like doing legendary stuff. There's no way, right? And Andrea knows this. But it's like when you do legendary stuff, you make sure you known for times and on and generations. Like you do these things. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. It doesn't matter who you are. I feel like you can kick ass in any industry. Any industry. Any industry you can kick some ass. And it's gonna be like that today. So I appreciate you guys. I'm about to ping this room up. I'm about to bring the rest of you guys up, right? And I'm going to talk about rejections and redirection. I was like, this is going to be one of those good topics because I want to talk about it. I want to dive all the way in. Ping this up, though, for me. Come on, man. We should already be, you know what I'm saying? Let's warm this up. You know what I'm saying? Let's warm this up, man. Let's see what we doing, right? Let's ping this up. Let's share this up, man. I want y'all to really know, like, rejections and redirections is good. It's really, really important. Really important for this today's topic. Because it's not always a rejection. It sometimes is a redirection to get to where you need to go. So sometimes that rejection ain't always a negative thing. You know, that's what I'm thinking about right now. It's like, yo, it's not always a negative thing when you hear this, right? So you know what? I'm gonna wait for it, right? Andrea's, making it, doing what she gotta do, and we waiting for Vassy, dog. I can't wait to see what's going on, right? Like, let's figure it out. I'm gonna play some music while we waiting. Where's my other phone? Yo, I'm gonna play some music while we waiting, and then, let's start sharing this up to a lot of different people. I want to see who's gonna come through today. I want to see who's really here with us today. Like today's the day, right? Man, today's the day. Andrea, how you feeling? What's good? Talk to me.
I am super excited. She's actually stuck. She's trying to get in here. She's like the event link expired.
I'm gonna send her a new
So I'm
link.
trying
Send
to
her a
get
new
her.
link right now.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna do that. I'm super excited, everyone. Thank you for coming. Do me a favor. Like Vassy is super cool. She is really down to earth, and she's all about like getting, um, sharing and building community. And she did it in a very unique way. For those of you who don't know, she is. let me just invite her. I'm not actually invite her. Give me 1 second because she's trying to get in. But she is an EDMA icon. She is the first woman to ever be awarded this award in history. And she has a slew of like accomplishments. But if you listen to her story, she's on Clubhouse now. She said she's ready to talk about the nitty gritty stuff, right? She's going to talk about to keep it real, build community, because that's exactly why we asked her to be on here, is to support the community, support creators, like talk about real stuff. And there she is right now with us, and we're gonna pull her up, like to
And then
speak.
we gonna move a couple people down, and then we're gonna bring y'all back up so we can structure it. So come back up after Vassy comes back up. So invite her up real quick so we can have her
Okay.
up here, and then we gonna rock out with her. Yeah, even though she was figuring it out, she figured out how to get up here. Let's rock out with Vassy, and then we gonna have everybody come back up. So Vassy, please accept the invite. I just invited you just now, so you can come back up. Andrea, invite her too, so she can accept the invite. And then right here, bam,
All right.
we
Oh,
got
there
you.
you go.
And now I'm about to invite everybody back up so we can come back up on stage and start pinging this room out and sharing this room out to a lot of different people. So Andrea, help me ping everybody up and bring everybody back up. Shay, you as well. Bring everybody back up, and then that way we can get this rocking. Andrea, over to you.
All right. Vassy. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. How are you?
Hey guys, you can hear me okay, right?
We can hear
Perfect.
you
Yeah,
Loud
perfectly.
and
yep, yep.
clear.
All right, good, good. I'm good. How is everyone? Post Grammy weekend.
Feeling good. We
What's
feeling
up?
good. Vassy, how you feeling?
I'm happy because Kylie Minogue won the pop dance category, and I'm just so happy for her. And it just goes to show you, you don't give up. I mean, sometimes it can take a while, but here she is, 30 years later, winning her first Grammy.
So how you feel about that, Vassy? Let's get into the let's get right into it. How you feel about that? Do you feel like it doesn't matter how long it takes to make a success or to get something, you'll get there? Let's talk about it.
I mean, I think that it does take time. People need to realize that that it really does take time. And all these like overnight success sensations, they're never overnight. Even though they make them look that way, some people obviously start in the business really young. So even their success isn't necessarily overnight, although, they've peaked at 22 or 20, they've really started from a young age. If you look at Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, even Taylor Swift, these are really artists that have been artists from the minute they, started walking, because they're born into families that are in the entertainment business and they're exposed to all this. So they're like steps ahead of a lot of other artists, say, that start a little later in life, or someone like me who literally got a degree in architecture and then started my career in music. So I got a really late start. So my point is that it does take time, period. But it's great if you can start early, right? Because it's definitely a young business, the music business, and it helps to be young. But I feel like times are changing now, and the cool thing about the music space right now across all genres, that people are really having comebacks, no matter what age, and are having success, equally as much as success as the younger folks, and it's a really cool thing to see. So with that, then it definitely reinforces to not give up, because if you believe in yourself and you're relentless and you put in the time, sometimes these things can take a long time. I was at a went to the Busta Rhymes Grammy party over the weekend and got to see him and listen to his beautiful speech, and watch his private screening of, he's got a new film that's out. It basically talks about his career and where he's at. And in his speech, he gave us this really great, heartfelt, like, he just kept it real. And the guy's been in the business for over 30 years, like Kylie Minogue. And he said he went through a period where, I mean, recently went through a period where literally no label wanted to touch him, and he couldn't get deals. And I thought it was really cool that he said that, right? Because no one ever wants to reveal that. It's not sexy to talk about your rejections. It's not sexy to talk about the fact that you've spent 15 years. Like Victoria Monet won a Grammy. She's been in the game for over 15 years, and she's put in her time, and she said it was the first thing she said, and I thought good on her for saying it. I mean, she's still relatively young, right? But it was cool that she said that. And I think sometimes, you know, publicity, press can make things out like an overnight sensation. Like if you think about, you know, Billie Eilish, sometimes people think, oh my God, she was so young. Wow, I can't believe it. She got so, but she's been grinding since like a kid age. And again, she's lucky because she's got a family that's acclimated with that, a brother that's a producer. But my point is that even she wasn't just an overnight success either. Like these things do take time. But the cool thing about that is that we're now in a space where, um, you know, it's okay to be a certain age and still be successful. Like the doors haven't shut.
Put the one in the chat if y'all
So,
agree with Vassy. Put the one in the chat. Go ahead, Vassy. Keep going. I
oh,
want to
I'm
see what they.
sorry. Yeah, I was just saying. And so one of the things that Busta Rhymes said was, you know, he got all these rejections from the labels. Like no one wanted to touch him. And then he was like, screw this. Like, I'm literally going to do my own thing then. And he did. And so he went independent, which he can, right? He's got the money. But he did this really cool thing. And then, you know, he was smart, like a lot of uh, older folks. They do partner up and associate themselves with younger artists. And it does make them relevant because they tap into a young audience that's listening to these artists that are still, say, 20 or in, you know, in their early 20s. And I think a lot of people are doing that, you know, from obviously the Buster Rhymes to David Guetta. These are all iconic artists that are doing it. Um, but going back to a Kylie Minogue situation, you know, why I'm so proud of her is not because she's Australian, but literally, like, Kylie Minogue is the Madonna of Australia, and she's been big for decades. And she's been grinding and really trying to make it in the American market, right? And I know how hard it is because I came here from a little remote part of the outback from Australia, and I didn't know anyone. I had to start all over again. Like I was all of a sudden a nobody after coming from a place where I was somebody and I was, you know, famous and had, I mean, I wasn't like Kylie Minogue status, but I was on radio and in, you know, magazines and doing live TV, morning broadcast shows and concerts. And then I came here and I was literally no one again. And it really sucked, and it took years to become someone again. And so she was just grinding for years. And so to cut a long story short, my point is that she's not a DJ, right? She's not this, she's not that, but she's been a dance artist for a long time. I mean, she is pop predominantly, but she's been making dance musics. And you know, okay, she doesn't write the stuff or anything, but she's just a really, you got to respect someone like her. She's so humble, and here she is winning a category. I'm so proud of her. I mean, she was up against David Guetta, Calvin Harris, like really big, heavy hitters, and she got it. And so it just goes to show you, you know, you just stay true and authentic to yourself. You know, a lot of these things are about timing. And obviously, she hasn't had a bad, right? I mean, she would still be fine without a Grammy. But of course, it's every artist's dream to win a Grammy. I mean, it's like the pinnacle of everything. So, and she finally got her first Grammy. So it just goes to show you, you know, anything can happen. It's never too late, basically.
I love that, Vassy. Look, if you guys are ready for this conversation with Vassy inside of the media mentorship community, put a one in the chat, put a fire emoji in the chat, share the room out, ping the room out. Let's roll the red carpet out for her. Let's show her how we get down over here, right? Every time someone comes over here that does amazing things, Vassy, we always roll the red carpet out, have fire questions for you. And I got some fire questions for you right now. And if you guys are ready, let's share it out and let's ping it out because this is what it's about, collaborations, right? And we're talking about rejections and redirection. It's going to be a fire conversation. Look, my first question for you, Vassy, is what was the moment that you realized you wanted to be a singer and a songwriter? What was like, dang, what was that day you was like, this is it, this is what I'm going to do, and this, I'm going all the way in and nobody's going to stop me. Over to you. Let's go.
First of all, can I just say I love the Jamaican horns, the drills. I mean, that is so my vibe. Oh, yes, you had me at Jamaican horn drills. Um, I knew I wanted to be an artist from a really young age, but you know, I grew up in a, like I said, a really remote part of Australia, and I grew up with, you know, an ethnic family, and my parents migrated to Australia, and it was really all about, um, I've worked really freaking hard to leave poverty, come to a country, slave my ass off. I am not about to let you just be a singer, bullshit type of, strict Greek father mentality. And I remember at the time going, oh man, like I totally respect my father and his hard work, and I can't let him down, and I have to honor his wishes. And so he pulled me out of, I was doing piano, saxophone, anything music related, because he's like, why am I spending money on this? I want you to get an education. I want you to become a lawyer or a this or a doc, something like that we didn't have the opportunity to do because we were poor, and literally we came here so that you guys can have the opportunities that we didn't have. Anyway, so I actually, unfortunately, I lost my father to cancer. It was very unfortunate. I was very young, and I did promise him that I would get my degree. And I did. I studied architecture and I finished my degree, but I got his blessings before he passed. So I promised I would finish my degree, and then I started my career. But the age that I knew I wanted to be artist was 7, and at what happened at 7 was pretty much the beginning of my philosophy in life. I was kicked out of school choir, and I was told in front of the whole choir, in front of all the kids, by the music teacher, that I didn't have what it took. And she humiliated me and made me feel really embarrassed and like I was a loser. And in that moment, that was a huge rejection. And I
If you
was,
guys ever felt like Vassy, put a one in the chat. If someone ever rejected you, or you ever felt like that, let's show her some really, some relatability. Let's get up in there. If someone ever made you feel like that, go ahead, Vassy. Over to you.
yeah. So, and I was young, right? So, I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of other rejections since then. But when you're that young and you get rejected and told, you're not good at something or you don't have what it takes, that really fucks you up as a kid. I mean, it can potentially fuck you up as a kid. I mean, luckily, it didn't come from a place of love like my family, because they always believed in me. I mean, they didn't say that you don't have what it takes. They just said we'd prefer you not do music and do something that's going to bring money in. But anyway, my point is that in that moment when I walked away and I was kicked out, I was like, is this even allowed? Like now I would, you could sue this school for something like that. You cannot crush a kid's dreams. That moment became the beginning of my success because as a kid, I was not emotionally involved to understand, but I somehow knew in my heart instinctively that this teacher was wrong. And that's the choice I took as a kid, as in I was mature enough in my own like soul or spirit to understand that this teacher kicked me out because I was different. I wasn't doing what all the other kids were doing. And it wasn't that I wasn't good enough. It was that she didn't understand me. I didn't fit in that box. And that's it. And so I took that instinctively and I knew that I was an artist. Like I had something different. I wasn't leading, the followers. I wasn't following the leader. I was the leader. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna just have to take my own path with this one. So just wanted to share my very first rejection, and how that became a redirection, and hence why it has become my philosophy in life. And let me tell you, anyone obviously that's in the business and is successful, you're going to get a lot of rejections, a lot of rejections. And even when you're successful, you're going to get them. And even when you're freaking Buster Rhymes, you're going to get them. Like you just heard him say, and I'm telling you, big artists who are making millions of dollars are still getting rejections. They don't talk about these rejections, but they're still getting them. Luckily, they're at a place where they don't need these people necessarily because they've got the money, right? But there's still going to be something that's going to come up. And so the tough thing is taking these rejections and using them as fuel to flip them, right? To give you the ammunition that you need to continue your path, because they're always, these rejections are just literally little blessings in disguise. I know they don't feel like it at the time, and trust me, I have to tell myself that too. But I'm telling you, if you just wait it out and you keep going, in a few months, you're going to realize, oh, wow, that's why that happened. Shit, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have done that. And then this wouldn't have happened, and then I wouldn't be here. And so that is why I think they're big blessings, even though they hurt your feelings, they make you feel like a loser. You're not a loser, trust me. And the only person that's going to convince you of that is going to be you. It starts with you. When you believe in yourself, everyone else will. And I'm not talking about being cocky, because there's a lot of cocky people out there, and that's cool. That's their thing, and if that works for them, then great. Like I'm not here to judge, but I take a different route. I think it's good to be healthy proud. Like if you've worked really hard, and I've worked really hard, so sometimes I talk about my accomplishments, but that's really to share them. Like say a Victoria Monet, what she did.
Don't you want
I
to inspire, Vassy? We share them to inspire. That's what I do.
Exactly. You talk about them because there are other girls and guys out there that either look like me, sound like me, relatable, like grew up with ethnic parents, came to this country with no one, have been rejected, look like, have my complexion or whatever it is, and can now, they're not a skinny this girl, they're this, they're that. There's just so many things. If someone can relate to me now, it becomes tangible, and they can be like, oh, that I feel like she's talking my language, and oh, she went through that. And I've had so many people over the years tell me, like, you're an inspiration. You let me believe in me by seeing your success. It makes me think that I too can do it. And that is why it's important to share the stories, right? But just, to do it in a way. Like, I was watching the Grammys on the weekend, and we noticed a couple moments during Miley Cyrus's set, and I thought it was interesting. I do love that song, and she got up and she did a few things, and I noticed some people were cringing at some of the moments, and it was just like, oh, okay. There was some things that happened during the Grammys that people cringed at, but not just her, like a couple other artists that did. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed how eloquent, like the Victoria Monet was. I mean, she did win, Best Artist, but I just thought it was really graceful, and just humbling. So, anyways, I'll keep going on a rant here, but yeah, basically, I'm not sure if I answered your question exactly, but let me know if you
No,
need.
you definitely did, Andrea. Did she answer the question? Cause she sure did. That hit it right on the note. Put a one in the
Yeah.
chat if y'all enjoying this. Go ahead, Andrea. Over to you.
Vassy, one thing I love about you, and I've loved from the beginning, is that you are you empower women, not just women, but people from all walks of life. And you don't just say that; you actually show that in your work. Like, so a lot of people know you for your dance music and EDM and things like that, but they don't know the acoustic side of you as well. And I love that you stay true to your art and your craft. And I really wish that maybe you can share that with us, because I feel like a lot of people are like kind of teetering on the edge of like, should I be like this person because it's going to get me more fame? That whole, you understand what I'm saying, but you stuck to your values. And I love that about you.
So you're saying basically, I'm sorry, ask me
Let me
like real
rephrase.
quickly again.
Let me
Yeah.
rephrase your question. So the question is, how did you do it? Navigate this world where a lot of people will try to put artists in a box, and say you'll be good at this. So how did you stay true to your calling and your craft?
Oh, got you. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. You know what? I've heard so many things over the years, you guys. I mean, so, and I'll start by saying this. So last year, I literally became the first woman to win the Icon Award at the EDMA Awards in Miami, which are like the Grammys, the Grammys of the dance space, right? The dance world. Everyone flies in to Miami for Ultra, and then they have the EDMA Awards. The cool thing about that, why I'm sharing that, not so much, not to try and sound cocky or boast, but I'm sharing it because it was cool that I was the first woman, and dance is definitely a boys' club, and very DJ driven. I'm not a boy, obviously, and I'm not a DJ, and I'm in the dance world as an artist, and having had all this success and just
You said
holding down
that
my
to me
fort.
last night, Vassy. You said that to me. You said it's a boys' club, but it's a women's world.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. And you have to say that sometimes because you've got to remind yourself that, I'm a woman. And so I just, I got to do things the way I know. And the reason I bring this up is because over the years, I've obviously been told a lot of things, right? Put aside the DJ thing. I've been told so many things before my career started in dance, everything from or physicality stuff, do this, do that, be more like this, be more like this. You got to do this, you got to not do that. You got to lose weight. Although back then I was skinny, but he says you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to not lose weight because thick is in. You got to this, you got I mean just so much stuff. You got to not ask so many questions. You've got to sit back and not question things. You've got to not be so business savvy. You've got to, play it down, and you're the singer, you're the artist. You've got to, oh my God, so much stuff. And I was just, I worked with different teams over the years, and thank God I'm now finally like with a team that just, believe in me, and we're on the same page, and we can be partners together, my manager and I. And my point with that is that, when you're a young woman and you're evolving, you especially when you're still trying to be successful, right? Because you're trying to make it. So you're hustling, you're really trying to explore all the opportunities. And sometimes you're going to get a lot of opportunities. And that's a whole other thing as well as a woman. You're going to get, no, put the woman aside thing. As an artist, you're going to get exploited. Just expect to get exploited, period. So that's a whole other subject. You got to have a good lawyer and stuff. It's going to happen. Sometimes you have to get a little exploited in order to, make a piece of a small piece from a big pie type of scenario. And then as a woman, you're also going to face other things, especially when you're young and you're attractive, and you look good, and you're just going to attract stuff. People can tell that you're, I don't want to say thirsty, but they can tell that you're eager to be successful, and you're not yet. So now you're vulnerable, and these people can take advantage of that, and they will try to. And it's up to you whether you want to allow that or not. I'm not here to judge. I know people that have, taken opportunities to do things to get places, and that's on them. It's not my path. I could never do that. My father's up there always looking down on me, and he worked way too hard for me to do that and dishonor him. So I take integrity, credibility very importantly, and that's just the way I was raised. I have the morals and values. So unfortunately, I had to knock back a lot of situations. Not unfortunately, I mean, unfortunately, as in once you knock back in certain type of invitations, you lose the opportunities as well. So those doors close, but that's fine, right? So if you believe in yourself, you just got to keep going. So it's not always the easy route, and unfortunately, things will close, and you can't explore those exciting, big, potentially big, career changing opportunities. But I think I just throughout the whole thing remained authentic to myself. And then when my career really took off in the dance space, the conversation and the narrative changed. And it was like, oh, you've got to collaborate with this person, and you got to do this. And when I had my huge records with David Guetta and Tiesto, all of a sudden then it was just like, oh, you got to work with this guy. You got to, can you give me another vocal like this? Can you give me another? And I got burnt out because it was just having to do all this stuff to accommodate all these people. And I just was like, this isn't really me. Like, I'm an artist. I gotta get back to what it is I do and why I came to this country. I like the success of it, don't get me wrong. I like the money of it, don't get me wrong. But I started to feel drained, like my soul wasn't getting inspired. Then what happened was everyone was trying to push me to DJ. And you know what? It's actually a cool thing if you are excited to do it, especially if you're in the dance genre, which is my genre. But it's not really me. And I tried to pick it up and not do it. But then there were the other knockbacks. Well, if you're not going to DJ, you're not going to make it to this. You're not going to get booked for this. You just limit yourself. And it's true, you are very limited. But I was just like, I get that, and I'm going to miss out again on all these things, but I don't want to do something because that's what I'm supposed to do to force it. I just want to do what I want to do, which is write songs. I'm a writer, a songwriter. I'm an artist. I'm a soulful artist. I have to feel it. I can't just, I grew up, not grew up, but I was inspired by jazz, and, I love soul music, and this is the stuff I really want to be doing. But unfortunately, that's not where I've made my money. So I'm now in a place where, my fans know me for a certain sound. And so you could technically say I've been boxed, but I like dance records. I love dance music. So and I try to grow out of that. Like, I have a release coming out on Friday. It's not dance stuff. It's going back to my indie roots, which is, just really soulful, quirky indie stuff, to indulge and remind myself, how I started in the music space, more as a jazz singer slash this, influenced by reggae and all sorts of stuff. But I've just remained authentically myself. Now, it might be a longer path, But when I won the award last year, being the first woman, it was like a confirmation and a validation that, oh shit, I really, it paid off being authentic and sticking out. Um, and yeah, I probably missed out on some opportunities and I could have made more money. I could be touring with this person and DJing. But at the end of the day, I'm happy doing what I do and I feel fulfilled artistically, right? And I think that's the most important thing. So if you are out there feeling pressured to have to do this and that, the only voice you need to listen to is yours. Be open to opinions because sometimes, people have great ideas. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to take them, but if you're willing to explore them, go for it. But you're going to know what feels right. It's just going to, strike a chord with you. You're going to know. You're going to be like, oh, I like this. Okay, cool. I'll change directions. I'll do this. I'll change my image. I'll change my sound. But if you don't want to, then always fall back on instinctively what feels right for you, even if it might not necessarily bring the most rewards immediately. Like I said, it's a long path. You just stick it out. And I promise you, if you stick it out and you put in the work, like the hard work, it's gonna pay off. Like something is gonna
Vassy, you
happen.
going in? You go put a one in the chat if Vassy's going in. I need her to take a little break. We on the halftime right now, Vassy. We hit 2:30, right? She's been going in. Get fire emoji in the chat. Please share the room. I'll ping the room. We need at least 20. If y'all want Vassy to keep going in, then we need at least 20, right? At least 20. Y'all gotta share it up a little bit. For real. She's been dropping it. I got more questions for her, but let me give her a little. You know what I'm saying? Can I give you a little break, Vassy, real quick, please? I need
Oh,
to bump
totally.
something. Come on, I need to play something. Let's go.
Something electric between you and I. The way we connected, I can't describe. We're right on the edge of blurring the lines. Don't know why I'm scared of this rush inside. Every time I feel your eyes crash into mine, I'm trying to focus, lost in the moment. This adrenaline is getting hard to hide. I'm trying to slow down, hold it. I wish my heart had an out switch. 'Cause boy, I don't know how to stop this. Each time I see you, I'm like, ooh la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la. I wish my heart had an out switch. Don't know how to stop. Switch. I wish my heart had an out switch. Don't know how to stop. Switch. You stay in my system.
Listen, I need y'all to share this room up. This song's fire, Vassy. All right, so look, off switch, right? I got a question for you for off switch, right? What inspired you to do off switch? Because that's a banger right there. Let's get back into it. Ping the room up, share the room up. Put a fire emoji back in the chat if y'all like that song from Vassy, and send her a message on Instagram. Say, yo, you was in the media. Tag us on a story too. That's a fact. Tag us on the story. Let us know you're enjoying this conversation, and ping more people in here and let them know that we're having a great conversation with Vassy. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Let's continue this conversation, but that's my next question for you, Vassy, is what inspired Off Switch? I know it's one of your newest songs, so what inspired this? Let's go.
I think I was transitioning out of a certain sound. And I remember last year saying to myself, going back to what I was talking about, after when I won the EDMA award, and I remember in that moment, I thought, I can't believe I'm the first woman. Like, obviously big DJs, or guys have won this award, and I'm the first girl, and I'm all the way from Australia, and here I am. And so I just thought, all right, well, that's really cool, and I'm leading the path for other women, and it just goes to tell me I'm on the right path. So I then followed my instinct, and I started writing different types of records. So I love, soul music, and I'm a really big fan of house music. And I just loved dance music back then in the 90s and stuff because I just feel like it was really more about the vocals and not so much about, the beats and the production and all this stuff. And so then I just wanted to make a body of work that has that house music influence to it. big, explosive, melodic, soulful vocal, passionate, and just going back to, like um, just classics. So Soul to Soul and Crystal Waters and Romanesque and just real like beautiful, Kathy Turner and just classics. So I think it was inspired from that. And obviously it's a love record. It's like everyone can relate to a good love record like this. It's like I wish my heart it had an off switch, because boy, I don't know how to stop this. It's just like you want to love or be exposed without getting hurt, and I wanted to write it in a way where anyone can relate to it. So it could be about, not wanting to get hurt, or it could be about knowing that you shouldn't love this person because it's a, forbidden or a dangerous situation. It's only going to lead to hurt, so don't do it. So yeah, it's just kind of, uh, it's just like a very provocative type of passionate romance story.
Yeah, I love that.
Woo! Go ahead.
uh, so, Vassy, as we move into the next question, before we do, I know this is not a promo room. You've been so happy to join us and just be a part of the community. But I'd like to encourage people to go to your website, VassyMusic.com, and
Put that
subscribe
up,
so they can
Andrea.
get.
Put that up. Put that up.
I'll definitely do that so that they can get those updates when you release your new record. So let me do that now.
Yeah, make sure y'all get that being subscribed, being tapped in, so that way when she drops, you'll be able to be right there. You'll be able to be right tuned in. If you guys are ready for the next question, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. I'm ready for this next question. Put a 2 in the chat. Let's share this room out again. If y'all ready for the next question from Vassy, come on, man. This is fire. This is probably one of the most fire interviews we did. Let's keep rocking. Let's go. Get up in the chat, share the room out. You know what it is. Let's go. All right. My next question for you, Vassy, right? What is one of the key things every artist should know if they want to protect their music and income? We had a room about this a couple weeks ago with my brother Mark Days, and we were talking about, protecting your music and getting that income. But Vassy, can you tell us from your perspective and what you're doing, how you're protecting your music and your income? We would love to know. And keep sharing this room out while Vassy's going in. She could be doing anything else, but she's in here with the media mentors today. We appreciate you. Let's go.
I think you've got to, so there's a couple ways to protect your music. So here's the thing, and this is some really great advice I wish I knew when I had started. So there's different multiple revenue streams as an artist. Obviously there's performance revenue, there's publishing revenue if you're a songwriter, there's songwriting revenue through your PRO if you're a songwriter. There's different types of performance revenue if you're an artist. And then there's obviously touring income and things like that. Um, if you're a songwriter, I would definitely encourage you to make sure you're registered with a PRO. Like let's start with the fundamentals, because not everyone's at different levels in their career. So make sure you register with the PRO. When I say PRO stands for Performance Right Society, basically PRO organization, but it's performance rights. So in this case, think of like BMI or ASCAP in America. So make sure you're registered with them. It's really easy to do that. If you're a songwriter, if you're not a songwriter, you don't really need to do that. If you're a performer, that's a whole other thing. But as a songwriter, definitely do that. That's your first step. And then the second thing would be is publishing. So now that's a whole other thing, but I would, I'd be very
Come on,
careful.
Vassy, break it down. Publishing what? What we doing? Let's go.
Well, because it's not that black and white. It's a little intricate. You don't necessarily need a publisher. You could have your own publishing entity, because I feel like that could be confusing to some people, and I don't know, how much everyone knows. But if you are looking for a publisher, I would, highly encourage an admin deal, like an administration deal, where you're not giving away your rights completely, or you're not giving away a big portion of your publishing. And you're basically, paying this company X amount, not paying them, but giving them an X amount of fee, like anywhere from say 10 to 15, maybe sometimes 20. It depends on the companies. um, to collect on your behalf. And when I say collect, they're making sure that they're really collecting. This is, you only really need to do this if you're releasing, you're with labels, you're getting streams, you know. Um, Otherwise, you could probably just leave it and just have it direct with BMI. And so so yeah, the publishing thing is a whole conversation in itself. So I just feel like it depends on someone's situation, but I would just say be really, really careful what you sign. Make sure you have a good lawyer, okay? Because you're you're going to get screwed in contracts, just for period. So make sure you have someone that looks through your contracts and helps you and guides you in the right direction. And at the end of the day, it's to everyone's discretion. If you think something feels right and you want to agree to it, like say they want to take more but they're willing to invest in you and give you X amount up front, then that's your call because listen, they're investing in you, right? So they're willing to front the cash and take a chance on you. So with that, then there's an incentive. You want to reward them for that. So it's the same with label deals. So now moving from publishing to say labels, make sure everything makes sense. Again, there's no black and white scenario, so it's really hard to just say do this or don't do that. Um, but I think that, just make sure you're registered with all the PRO societies, from BMIs or the ASCAPs to the sound exchanges. Just make sure you're registered. And anything you don't know, try to learn about it. Ask someone that might know. Don't feel afraid to ask a dumb question. I mean, if you want to slide into my DMs on Instagram and you're following and supporting me and showing me love, I would definitely give you the time of day. Any advice, I'm happy to share advice. So I have done that for several people that obviously support me and sometimes will reach out and say, hey, this is a dumb question. I'm sorry to ask you, but da 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 da. And I'll just send them a quick voice note on Instagram and be like, hey, this is, my piece of advice. So I'm happy to do that. But yeah, I would just really look at everything and try to educate yourself because unfortunately what happens is a lot of artists, you get burnt and that's how you learn. But look, that might happen to you and that's okay. But once it happens, try to avoid it happening again. And also these things tend to become clearer when you're making money. They don't matter as much, right, when you're not really making that money. But once a big fat check comes in for something, that's when you start questioning things because you're like, oh shit, like there's money coming in. And then you start picking up on stuff. And then you're like, how come no one told me about that? And then this is, what happens. And then you realize you missed out on making money in certain areas because people aren't just going to give you this advice for free. They're like, well, why should I tell her about this? You know what I'm saying? So that's all. Just get a little savvier. Try to learn more about the music business, and how to protect yourself. But I think I gave you guys two really good starting points, which will always, when you've written a song, make sure you register it so it's protecting your copyright. And honestly, I get really lax with that stuff, and I don't always register my songs straight away, but eventually we'll register it like pretty much just when it's coming out. So but if you don't have a label, I think sometimes it's good to get everything registered so that it's being documented that you're the writer of this, because I've also had situations in the past where all of a sudden you'll hear an idea of yours on something and you're like, uh okay, that's weird, why is my hook on that song and what just happened there? Like, so yeah, that stuff can happen, trust me.
Come on, man. We got Vassy in here. If you guys are enjoying this, let's get it in. This is a fire conversation. Vassy, we appreciate you. I got another question to dive into. If y'all ready for number three, get back up in the chat right now. Put a three up in the chat, ping the room out, share the room out. All right, we should have at least 25 for Vassy. We should have at least 25. Come on, let's ping it out. Let's put it on the timeline. Share it on Facebook. Share it on your story. Andrea, you shared the flyer, right? Yeah, I see everybody sharing the flyer. Shout outs to
Yeah.
everybody that's sharing the flyer. I appreciate y'all. Let's continue to dive more people in here so Vassy can, expand. But if y'all ready for number three, man, let's get up in the chat ASAP. Blow it up. Share the room out. Look, Vassy, I'm going right back in with another question. Can you please share a moment when you felt like you were giving up on your dream and what kept you going? What kept you going? I know you said a little bit about it, but let's expand on that a little bit. Let's talk about it. What kept you going?
There were moments, a few moments over my career where I wanted to give up. So, been there, done that. You're not alone. If you feel like giving up, everyone has reached that point. And I think I was really close to giving up. So, several years ago, I had a release. It was like my first release in the dance world. And I remember it didn't go the way we wanted it to. And all of a sudden, everyone around me like just gave up on me. I mean, it was like extreme from day and night. It was literally like, let's go, 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 let's do this, let's do that. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then boom, the record didn't do what we wanted it to do. We didn't make, it doesn't mean the record wasn't good. We just a lot of these things are really about you got to have the right team, you got to have the right strategy. And I didn't know what I know now, and obviously have the relationships that I have now at radio and with everyone that you need their support. So I went into it not knowing anything. And the record didn't go where we wanted it to go. And then everyone around me just like ditched me. And it was really depressing for me because I just felt like, oh my God, like you guys all just gave up. Like that was it. And I felt lost and really alone because I had just sort of moved to LA. I didn't know anyone, and that was really sad. And I was struggling back then. And I remember being so depressed. Actually, I fell into some depression because I had no one. I didn't know what to do. And now I'm like, okay, everyone's just given up on me. And I remember walking around I think I was around Runyon Canyon area, just going for a hike, and something inside of me in that moment, I was so depressed, and I was like, all right, it's time to wrap it up and pack up and go home. And I remember I even had to move and go to this shitty place, and I had a shitty roommate, and she was a weirdo. And, I was just always the nice Australian girl. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this shit. Like, I'm always, trying to be nice, trying this, trying that. And I'm literally just getting, just people can be very aggressive here in the US. So I was just like, it's time for me to fight back. Like, and so I left that place. I literally had nothing in my bank account. And I remember I was walking around the area and I found this little studio apartment. And I just walked in one day and I said to the lady, I said, this is all I have. I really want this studio apartment. I'll make the money and I'll give it to you for the next month. Can you please just let me have it? I don't have any references or whatever. Can I, get this lease? She really liked me. I got,
You was wishing on a star, Vassy. You wished on a star.
I did. I just was fully transparent. I said, "This is my situation, and if you don't accept me, I'm going to go home to Australia." So it's this. This is going to be a sign
So
from
you was
God.
just straight up.
This
You just was like, it's either this or Australia. It's either this or
that's
Australia. Vassy, real
yeah.
quick, let me say something. Because sometimes you guys gotta go with that plan A and not that plan B. Put a one in the chat if y'all agree, real quick. And Vassy can agree with this because when you got a vision and you want to do some shit, you're gonna get it done. You're not gonna let nobody tell you it's not possible or turn away. You're gonna want to go in with that plan A. You're gonna want to go in with the first thing. She's like, man, it's either this or I'm going all the way over there, back overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes you gotta put that in the universe. Like, yo, this is what I want to do. It's just the plan A. There's not going to be a plan B. So Vassy, I love it, and continue because I just really wanted them to really understand that. Like, put the plan A
That
first and go hard with it if you really see that in your vision.
So that's interesting that you say that about the plan A thing because that I was just going to say that, and I don't know if you because I talk about that all the time. It's part of my it's the segue from rejections or redirections that you stick to plan A. When people ask you what's your plan B, you say you don't have one because once you have a plan B, you're compromising plan A already. And at this point, I was leaning towards my plan B, which was to pack up and go home. And then I took one last shot, and the universe was like, okay, cool, we're going to give this to you. And I'm telling you guys, within a month to 2 months, as soon as I did that, this woman was like, cool, you seem like a nice girl. Let me give you a chance. And I moved in. The universe rewarded me, and I was getting like money was coming in from left, right, and center. I was getting placements, and yeah, it was crazy. So I was getting all sorts of TV and film placements, and things were just taking off, and it was crazy. And I was just like, wow, I was about to go home and pack up. Had I not stuck it out, and been living off ramen packet noodles and stuff. Here I am 2 months later. I literally have all this money, and I wouldn't have made that if I didn't stick around. And I was, getting TV campaigns and just all this amazing stuff. And it was the beginning of a new era for me. The momentum just started from there. So that was really, I would say that was my biggest giving up point. I did have some other moments in life where I just felt like, oh, sometimes I just want to give up. And even now, sometimes you get frustrated with the business and the politics of it. It's really the politics of the business. Look, it's a competitive business, guys. Like you see how it is. I mean, you go on Instagram and you see even the Grammys as an example. Like everyone was like, oh my God, we're so tired of seeing the same people get awards and the same shit, and it's become so hard now. Literally, people have 80 million, 100 million followers on Instagram. It's so hard to compete with all that. Um, all I can say is that, success comes in many, many ways. So, there's not everyone's going to be the Beyonce or the Taylor Swift, and that is what it is. But like I said, these people have started from a very, very young age, and they were very fortunate because they were born into families in the entertainment business. So, let's not hold it against them. Like they literally are talented and they were just born into that. So it would be nice if you had a father that's a music lawyer or a mum that's an agent, or all these things that help, which do help. You also have to have the talent, but it definitely helps. It's a catalyst. Just don't give up. Just stick it out. You're going to know when it's time to move on. I want to say it's time you would give up. When it's time to move on, don't look at it as giving up. You could phrase it as retiring, or like moving in a new direction, but never see it as a surrendering your like that's it. Like just that's what I would say. Just really stick to plan A. You got to make plan A work. That's it. There's no
Come
other
on,
way.
Vassy. Look, make plan A work, and if you guys want to make plan A work, get up in the chat. Vassy been going all the way in, man. If y'all enjoying this, I got one last question for her. If y'all ready, listen. If y'all been enjoying this, put some fire in the chat. Y'all know what we do. Get back up in the chat for this. Share the room out again. Ping some more people in here. I got one more question for Vassy because I already told her it's only gonna be over an hour. I told her we were only gonna do an hour. It's reaching the hour mark right now, right? So we're gonna let Vassy go shortly. But after I ask my next question, if Vassy has enough time for anybody's question, I'm gonna keep the floor open for y'all for a little while until she gotta get up out of here. But it was only supposed to be an hour. She came in to share the energy. It's been nothing but heat. Everybody pulled up. Shout out to you all, media mentor. Everybody always pulls up when we have a fire. Get y'all always support. Come through, get the knowledge. It's heat in here. I appreciate you guys. Nothing but fire. My last question for you, Vassy, before I open the floor is, can you share what rejections and redirections truly means to you today? You did it. You went in. You showed us about, different times, different, about your career. But what does this truly mean to you overall, this whole room? Rejections, redirections. What does it mean to you? Over to you, Vassy. Last question from Stack Pack. Let's go.
Oh, by the way, Stack, I gotta say, I love how you guys are so good at this here, and Australians are way more laid back, and we got to step up our game and be a little cooler. But you guys just have the ability to say things in a way that makes it sound so cool. And I feel like if Australians even attempt to try and sound that way, we just sound so. I mean, it just is not cool. There's no cool factor. So I just wanted to put that out there. No, I would listen, man. I would just say, like, seriously, rejection. It's literally that. Rejections mean redirections. When someone rejects you, you have a choice to make. Okay, you can either sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can take that opportunity and flip it, redirect it, and take another path. It's literally a door shutting and another one opening. What do you do when the door shuts? You could stay in the room, okay? Stay there for as long as you want. But eventually, you're going to have to leave the room, right? You're going to have to go outside. You're going to get thirsty. You're going to get hungry. You might want to go for a walk. Something's going to happen. No one wants to really just stay in a room the whole time. That's why people don't want to go to prison. And even then, they let them out for breaks. You want to step out, right? And by stepping out means you're going to take chances. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. Lots of things are going to happen. Shit, rejections come in all shapes and sizes. They come in your personal life, your professional life, money, everything. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It happens to the most successful billionaires. So just don't worry about it too much. Feel sorry for yourself for a minute. Have your little, cry session or whatever. We've all been there. It all sucks. The thing is, you can't appeal to everyone, okay? Not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone likes me. Not everyone likes my music. Not everyone thinks I'm the coolest. Not everyone thinks I'm this. And that's okay. Like, that's totally cool. My job isn't here to try to convince them otherwise. I'm here for the fans that connect with me, that just relate to me. I have the same with other artists. There are some artists, like, I respect them. I can see they put in the work and I'm like, cool, they're amazing, but they're just not my cup of tea. It's nothing personal. It's the same, with you. Not everyone's going to see your vision. Not everyone's going to think you're the next thing. Not everyone's going to get it. And that's okay. But you know what? Sometimes the people that reject you, and I've had this happen to me, I've had labels pass on certain records, right? And then that record went number one. Of course, I've ended up working with those labels on other records. So just because they rejected one record doesn't mean they're going to reject all of them or the next one. So don't burn your bridges as well. Keep them open. And also, you might have to burn a bridge here and there, and you're going to know when to do that. I've burnt a couple of bridges, and I am 1,000% proud of burning those bridges. I would never revisit that bridge. I literally would jump off the fucking bridge, then go back to that bridge. Because there are some people that don't deserve a second chance. They're toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just, you got to surround yourself with good people, positive people, people that just believe in you. That's it. And so that's really what rejections are about. It's just an opportunity for you to do something else. Okay. It isn't like the guaranteed recipe to success, but it's how you see it. And if you're someone that believes in the universe and laws of attraction, like I do, and some people might think this is corny, but I've done it. And I encourage you, if you haven't, it's something worth doing at least once in your life. Make a vision board. You know what I'm saying? Or write something out. Like, once you put something to paper, like with a pen, I'm not talking about just typing it. Get a pen and write a letter to yourself and just say, dear universe, I really want this. This is what I don't want in life. This is what I try to always see things. You know how they say the cup is half empty, not half full, like half empty. That philosophy. Look at the cup as half full. So what you put out there in the universe, it manifests. So that's why vision boards and writing it out and the way you say things really matter, because they manifest. And all these successful people that are out there living their dreams, right? It all started from an idea. They weren't born to be, or Oprah wasn't born Oprah, right? I know she's like an example, but it is a great example because the woman literally came from nothing and an abusive environment. And it's just crazy. Like, it's baffling. And this is like the best country in the world to achieve that level of success. Like, it's literally the land of the dreams. And most of you are from here. Like, I literally came to this country because this is the land of the dreams. You come here to pursue your dreams. And it's so hard to make it. If I can make it, and I'm not from here, and make it at a level that I'm happy with, like I said, not everyone's going to be the next, Taylor Swift or the Gaga, but there are people that are going to be that, and that's great. There's so many areas of success. So again, please don't be like discouraged by rejection. Just see it as a blessing in disguise. You might not see it now, but it's going to make sense in a few weeks from now, a few months from now, maybe a year or two from now. It will totally make sense, the rejection.
Woo-wee! If you guys enjoyed this interview with Vassy, put a fire emoji in the chat. God damn! And this is going right on the Stack Pack podcast. I'll send you the link, Vassy. I'll have Andrea send you the link. It'll be on iHeartRadio, Spotify, all platforms, Google Podcasts, right? Straight from Clubhouse. So this was just nothing but heat. Nothing but this was one of the best. I told y'all as he was coming through. This is thank you for this, Andrea, for teaming us up, bringing her on Clubhouse. Right, she could have been anywhere else, but she came on here and helped us out up here, gave us some gems, kicking ass. This is what I love, right? Look, Vassy, do you have any more any final time for any final questions? If I want to keep the floor open for a little while, you have any? Do you want to take a few questions, maybe two or three?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah,
All
go
right.
for it. No
I'll
problem.
leave the floor open. Anybody got any questions for Vassy before I get up out of here? Because I'm about to play this Tiesto record. Y'all know what time it is before we get up out of here. But it's on y'all. Who got some questions? I need like two or three, and then
Hey,
we
I
out.
got
Let's go.
one.
I'll
Go
let
ahead,
Shay go
Shay.
first.
Let's go, Shay.
Hey, Vassy, what an amazing interview. I love your I love your story. I love that you're coming from a real place. I love that you're sharing a part of you. My question for you is being the first woman to win the Icon Award, like, what does that pressure feel like? Do you feel like the industry has changed since you won that award? Do you feel like more people support you and they're in your circle? But what does that pressure look like for you?
I think that, and that's such a great question, and thank you for asking that. That's an incredible question, I think, because you're right. This is the trap that a lot of artists fall into. What happens is you're only as good as your last success, right? And so this is, I think, what happens. And again, why going back to what I was saying, really successful people still face rejections. Their rejections are a little different to the rejections that people are facing when they're first starting or trying to make it, and obviously not at that level. But there's still rejections. It's all about perspective, and being in context. Because if their last record had a billion streams, right? Like say my record with David Guetta, Bad, it's had over a billion, nearly 2 billion streams now. Like it's
Wee!
I
That's
know, but it's hard to get records
my
like that. Let me
chair.
tell you, I if I never have a record like that in my lifetime again, at least I can tick it and just say I did it once. Because it's a very unique situation to have a record do that big, and there's definitely a few other artists that have had that for sure. But my point is that it's so hard to top that. And obviously, when if you look at the Grammys, for example, in that category, like I was talking about, those records were huge. Number one in over several countries. It's so hard now for the next release to top it. And so I think that's what happens to artists because you feel the pressure. And so when your last record went number one, which my last record went number one, I'm currently number four across the country at dance radio with my current single, Crazy. And I am nervous, I need this to go number one because then if it doesn't go number one, I feel like a letdown. I feel like I've let down my team. And then I feel like, just to keep it real, then I'm like, oh man, this record wasn't good enough or something. And it's not the case, but I fall into the same trap as everyone does. And then when you win an award like that, you're then immediately, you're put on the map in a certain way. You're under the I don't want to say microscope, but there's a lot more pressure to deliver, especially when you're doing new deals with teams and people are excited to work with you because then they're like, oh, wow, we're going to do this project with so and this comes with it. So now there's expectations. And so the next release you do, and you have a team investing in you, right? So they're putting money down and they're doing all this thing. And you really want everything to go so well, not just for yourself as an artist, so that you can feel good about yourself and be like, yay, I did it again. That's so cool. Yeah. No, because you're like, shit, man. Now I have all these people that have invested in me and are relying on me, and I want to make everyone happy and, keep everyone like content and that it was worth doing it. So this is why the pressure never stops. And it's hard, and it's the vicious cycle, I think, that a lot of artists get into, and that's why they continue to face rejections because the reality is not every single record is going to be, this or that. And there's going to be some that might not do as well or some that this. And that's just how it is. And so that's why I'm telling you the rejection thing, it never stops. You'll keep facing it.
Oh man, Shay, did that answer your question right there? That one was
Oh,
crazy.
it more than answered my question. Gratitude.
Put a heart in the chat if y'all like that real quick. Let's see who's still listening, man. Get up in the chat. I see Beloved about to come through, so I'm gonna let him ask a question. But put a heart in the chat if you feel like that answers Shay's question. I feel like Vassy goes into detail, right? She could have been doing anything else, man. She dive into these questions. So ping this room up and share this room up while she's here. Let's get up to at least 25, man. I need at least 25. Get it up a little bit. Share it again. Share it up. Let's go. Beloved, over to you, brother. Let's go, man.
Hey, what's up, Vassy? Nice to meet you. Shout out to Stack and Andrea for setting this up. Much love to everybody. So, I guess my question would be, prior to getting into the music industry, did you have certain artists? Because you talked a little bit about manifestation, which I also love. So, did you have certain artists that you might have had on your vision board at one point? And if so, how did it feel to finally meet those people?
Yes, great question. And I'm so glad you touched on that because sometimes when I bring that up, I always feel like, oh my God, am I sounding like that corny, like spiritual person? But
Nope.
I mean,
We love spirituality here. Put a heart in the chat. I'm gonna have Lindsaya say a few words too. We love spirituality here. Put a fire emoji in the chat. Nope. You not that corny person, Vassy. Nope. We all believe it. I believe it. I believe in all that stuff. So get up in the chat, blow it up, and share this room out. Y'all know what it is, Vassy. Over to you. Let's go.
yeah, because here's the thing, I'm a realist as well. Like I'm a little bit in the middle, and I have faith and all this stuff, but I'm not like hardcore this or hardcore that. But when I was going through the stuff I was telling you guys about, and just really struggling to figure it out, because like I said, I came here and it was really hard, when you're no one and you don't have anyone, you don't have family. I didn't have any family. I didn't have like a partner. I was really on my own, and I was so vulnerable and exposed. And then I felt completely just abandoned by the people because my record didn't do well. Ironically, I ended up then doing very, very well, and it's just interesting, how things happen. But my point is that I basically I got a board. I went to the I just got a no, I went to the art supply store and got one of those boards. I cut out stuff. It wasn't. I basically Googled all the images, right? Because magazines. I mean, when you're looking for something specific, so I went on Google Images. I put specifically. Say I had put David Guetta. I hadn't worked with him yet. I had put Afrojack in there actually. I put a Grammy. I put number one Billboard. I put several other things. I even put stuff about personal life. I put something about buying a place. I put something about money. I put something about health.
I know
I
you
put
had a
something.
jet on there, Vassy. You had a jet.
I had a jet, but my jet wasn't. I didn't end up owning a jet, but I've been in private jets several times, so that's cool. At
You
least I
got
got to
that
experience that. And
manifestation. You
actually,
manifested it, right?
yeah, I manifested, but just no one really wants to have a jet. The only people that can really afford jets because they're fucking expensive. And I know Tiesto owns his jet, but I'm telling you, like even rich people don't own jets because it's like they pay for the gas and stuff. But
Yeah, it's
anyways,
like $80 million
but
for one
about
load of gas, right?
I know, and I'm so old school. I would prefer to spend that money on, like I'm really old school. So it's like if I've got money, I think sort of like my father, like I would put that in, I would invest. I want assets. I want something tangible, you know? So, anyways, so I made this board and about 75% what I put on this board came true because at the time when I made the board, so I Googled everything. I put all the images in a folder and I went and printed them at Kinko's. I cut everything out. I know this sounds I'm such a dork. I glued it and pasted it, and I put this board up in my bedroom. And I was living in this, shitty apartment, basically, not even like studio place in freaking Hollywood, dumpy with like weirdo neighbors, some weirdo chick that was doing weird stuff that we could all see because she would always leave her window open. Oh my God, it was such a mess. So I have this board up, and everything about 75% came true. I had put on there the number one stuff. I ended up having 8 number ones. I put on the Afrojack thing at the time. I really wanted to work with him because I was a big fan of that record. I ended up having a record with him. Not only did I have a record with him, it was Vassy and Afrojack, and it went number one. It
Number
was amazing.
one. You
Yeah.
hear that? Manifestation is real. Vassy, real quick, because I know you said something about, being a dork, and it said something about, you don't want to be that person, but we all believe in that. And I want my sister Lindsaya to give you a few words because I practice that in her room every morning digitally, right? and I know, and I know she's over there fired up because I do vision boards. I glue them together. I don't care where we put them up. It doesn't matter because I gotta see where I'm going. It's a direction. So Lindsay, if you're around, sister, can you please, chime in a few words about what you heard so far? I know you just got here. We had a fire room, but Vassy's been in here laying it down with us. Let's go, sis.
Oh, Vassy, I have FOMO for missing out on your brilliance, and it's why I'm always so grateful that the replays are on because you just spoke a word that is actually, Stack, you may be unaware of this, but the Daily Self-Love Circle, which it's our 3-year anniversary on March 6th. 3 years, 3 years, 5 days a week, this beautiful community that we have been holding space for daily self love. And our first name, actually, for the first nearly 2 years, was Daily Manifestation Room. And my sweet sister Shay Vassy, that's right there underneath you, and sweet beloved too. He's often in, and many other people, Queen on the stage, and many others in this room. And Shay specifically has actually been to my house, stayed at my home, and we co-host retreats. And she has been in my bedroom where she has had her eyes on my vision board. And so I wanted to, I really wanted to come in and commend you because sometimes when people make, and get to the level of success that you have so eloquently claimed as your own, they will leave, kind of gatekeep this really powerful information because, we also, the law of attraction is such a real thing. And sometimes they may feel a little woo or that others may judge them and not take them as serious. And so I really want to commend you because it's a really big deal that someone that has found your level of success says, listen, I printed off copies at Kinko's. I glued those babies to a to a poster board and I put it up where I can see it. Like when you have reached the level of success that you have and you've been able to, fulfill so many of those dreams, I really want to say thank you for reminding all of us that we can do the same damn thing, that we can, put the visual representation of where we desire to be in front of our eyeballs so that we see it regularly. So, Vassy, I do have a question. And again, I'm going to go back and listen to this replay. Super excited to follow along with your journey and support the whole thing. And in the Media Mentors, we really are about lifting each other up in the, highest vibrational way. And so we are a family of support through and through. And so, my question with the vision board, is there any particular thing that you do in regards to how you approach it or what it is, how often you change it or how you update it? I do a thing called a living vision board. I've, hosted and taught them yearly. And so I always think it's so intriguing to see how others, especially someone that again has chased her dreams so relentlessly, like, what are some of those inside secrets, sister? Please tell us what are some of those things you do when it comes to your vision boarding? Thank you so much. That was really beautiful what you said, and thank you for, comforting me because I think the thing is that when you're, especially when you're alone, your safe place is when you come home to your little safe nest, whatever it is, even if it's a little studio, whatever you can afford it, right? And that was all I had at the time. So anytime I would leave my studio, I was out into the wild and anyone could, exploit me, take advantage of me. And that's really how I felt there for a while because I was this young, naive, girl from Australia and I don't have family. And it's not like I can call my family to be like, what should I do? They don't know anything about the music business. So I felt really alone. And so my little safety net was really making something tangible for myself that I could have in my bedroom that I could look at and feel good about myself and feel safe and just be like, one day I really want that and I'm gonna get that, even though at the time I was being told that I can't and I never will. And so I just I mean it's so cool because with vision boards you can do whatever, man. You can make it so personal. If you really literally want to find a picture of say your future wife or husband, even like put career to the side, you take a picture of what you would like, if you want to have someone that's Asian or someone that's white or someone that's black or someone that's from your same heritage, and then you could put anything, a church or a play, a destination. Like, I mean, this is the shit that can really become real. And you put down, I mean, I put down things. I put down a Grammy, but I ended up being a governor on the board for a Grammy and a Grammy committee, and I served for a couple of years on it. and I still love the Grammys, and I went many, many years in a row, and it was fun. But it's very political, so I stepped away just for a minute. Not to say that I've given up on that, but as you guys know, it's just really hard. So, but look at Kylie; she just won her first Grammy after 30 years. So, um, so anyways, but I put on all these things, and so much stuff came true. I couldn't believe it. Now, I haven't revisited my vision board, and after talking a little bit about it now, I was like, shit, why haven't I done a new vision board? Because okay, I've had success, so I haven't really thought about it. But I'm like, there's new things that I want. Maybe I should do one. I did do a letter though. I wrote a letter to myself, and I mailed it to myself because I read the book The Secrets and I watched the documentary. And I read this other thing, and it was like if you write a letter to yourself and you put what you want in a letter and send it to yourself, just mail it, but don't open it.
If you guys
So
feel
I
like that's a
did,
good thing, put a
yeah.
one in the chat. Love, put a one in the chat if y'all feel like that's good. Go ahead, Vassy, expand.
No, I did that, and I wrote certain things in that letter, and I got really deep because I was going through some things in my personal life as well, and it was just heavy, and it was like a lot. And look, if you have family here in this country, it's wonderful because you've got people, that you trust that you can turn to. But when you're here on your own and you don't have those things, it's even harder in a way because you get lost, and you're like, shit, what do I do? But anyways, I figured it out. I stuck it out. It was worth it. And I'm so happy, with where I'm at in my life, even though there's still always challenges to overcome. And like I said, the rejections don't stop. They're like different, right? They're a bit more um, like even this morning I had a conference call at 8:30, and I actually don't like I don't even like to get up that early, but I remember being on the phone with four other people, and that they're older, they're businessmen, they get up early. And I was like, getting up early is good. Actually, you get a lot done. Like before 10 a.m.
So
I'd
much done.
finished,
So
yeah.
much.
I've finished like three conference calls, and potentially we've closed a new deal for something that I'm really excited about, and I don't want to jinx. I can't talk about it yet, but that came from a place of potentially being, I wouldn't say rejected, but not getting what you would need to make something happen. And then exploring another situation as a result of that, and finding a new home for that situation that's actually very unique and exciting. So my point is that yeah, you can there's no black and white way to do it. And honestly, like if it's something that you don't think you're into, don't worry about it. Like you don't have to. This is just a tool. It's something to do. It like reinforces what you want. And I feel like once you put it on paper or you put it on a board, it also you have to sit down and really say, what do I want? Shit, and you just put it down, and it's cool. You just kind of whether it happens or not, I think it's just worth it. I mean, you're going to end up putting a few hours of your time into it. That's investing in yourself. And whatever helps, listen, whatever helps to keep you feeling alive and keep the spark, lit, the flame lit, and keep you going, just do it. Whether it's that or going to the gym or going for a walk or, health and wellness is a really important part of all this too, which we didn't even talk about. But I mean, I'm a super nerd when it comes to health and wellness, and I have my matcha, I take my supplements, I do all these weird things that a
Yeah,
lot of
me
people
too, Vassy. They don't even know, man. I got Stack Pack
yeah,
Health. I'm all into.
that's awesome. And you have to, because your mind and your body, man, it starts with your health first. And that can affect so many things. So I'm into all of that. And that's like a whole other podcast because that'll get deep
Yeah,
and we'll
we'll
sidetrack from
definitely
what,
schedule you to come back in too, Vassy. There's something that you said that stuck out to me that I want you guys to realize. And I want my sister Miss Manifest to come in. Miss Manifest, flash your mic if you there, if you around real quick. All right, so listen, you said something about writing things down, and I like to do that, right? And my sister Miss Manifest likes to do that too. I love to write this stuff down because when you write it down, you call it into the universe. And she does something, Vassy, like a lot of manifestation journals for a lot of people she knows. You know what I'm saying? She gives those out and tells people what to do. So, sis, over to you real quick. Can you tell her, about writing things down and how much that means to you? Because that stuck
Oh
out
my
to me as well.
goodness. This is so powerful. Congratulations on all your success, Vassy. Oh my goodness. This is so amazing. I pray y'all join this room because I love manifestation. Her whole life was manifested and she was intentional. So I love that she wrote a letter to herself everybody knows like that when I speak about manifestation, I talk about 100% faith. She had a whole bunch of faith. She had 100% faith, right? It takes a lot to go somewhere and you don't know nobody and then write a letter to yourself and expect it to happen, right? So I thought that was powerful. I believe highly in scripting, right? Scripting is the form of writing. That's what we call it in the manifestation world, right? Writing it down, putting it in the present tense. If you pay attention, she had the vision board. She wrote it down. She took the action. I talk about these things all the time, and she's living proof that this stuff works. So I thought that was powerful that she even did this room or even thought to even share the pieces of like vision boarding. People think that's woo woo, right? People think like, oh, you put pictures on a board and it comes true. Is that yes? And she has all of these accolades that proves it. So congratulations to you, Queen, for sharing your story and allowing the universe to provide for you and having all of that faith. Because a lot of people don't have faith. So when you hear other women and men, right, talk about this, I love this because it brings the whole synergy together. So we have to do these things. This is key to having success in manifestation. So Vassy, keep doing your thing. Congratulations. And I love the fact that you're working with Stack to bring this energy to the media mentors room because I feel like manifestation is talked about, but not as much as it should be because it's important to have this in anything that you do. So keep going hard. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Make sure y'all sharing out the room and showing massive love. Let's keep this energy up and high vibrational. Let's go.
Woo,
This is our year, y'all.
woo. Let's go. That manifestation, Vassy. Listen, I don't know if Vassy got to go, but we got time for one more question, and then I'm gonna give it back to Vassy to give her outtake. Give it back to Andrea. I need one more question. Put a one in the chat. Thank you for that, Miss Manifest. Write it down. Get
Let's
it.
go,
All
Stack.
right. I need one more. Who's that?
Go,
That's
Stack.
that JT. Yeah, that's my brother JT. Look, JT, it's on you, my brother. Look, shout outs to JT because he's been pulling up, helping me build this media mentorship community. And make sure you guys go over to Funk Talks too, because we always having fire ass conversations about anything we want to do, right? We having our way. Look, JT, over to you, bro. This is the last question, and then I'm playing that Tiesto with Vassy, and I'm out of here. So over to you, JT, and then I'm gonna pass it to Andrea and Vassy. Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Space. Yeah, Stack. I texted you earlier. I had a meeting. I just got out, and I told you I would get here if I had time, and I had time.
Is it me or
I was like,
JT
was
went
that
out?
me?
No, no, that's what I'm saying. You already know, Lindsay. The JT, where you
Yeah, and
at, man?
Vassy, wait, hold on. Vassy is not on stage either, so I want to make
Oh
sure she didn't bump
man,
herself to the
she
audience
probably she
too.
probably did, or swipe left or something,
Yeah,
right?
I had a phone call. What happened?
Nah, she probably swiped left. Andrea, text her and send her the room again. All you got to do is hit the
I
arrow right
think
there
that's what
and
that's
share
correct.
the room to her again. It'll be a
Oh,
new
there she
room.
go. There she
Okay,
go. There
okay,
she
Oh,
go. Can,
okay. I'm gonna
you
get her
there,
back.
Vassy?
Yeah,
Vassy,
I'm
you there
here.
with
Can
us?
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
yes.
Yes,
you.
we can hear you now.
Uh,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I missed the question,
nope,
and
nope. JT,
I don't know what
Vassy,
happened. Yeah.
JT's about to
Yeah.
ask you the question right now. We right here. Go
Yeah.
Okay.
ahead, JT. Over.
Yeah, I had a phone call. Sorry about that. So listen, man, we at Media Mentor, man. We need to bring the vibes up. We about to end the room here shortly. I apologize. I'm late. I had a whole meeting, but we are here. Shout out to Vassy. Shout out to Stack with the pack for bringing this, man, bringing us all here together. And man, I love what I've been hearing thus far. It's very powerful, Vassy. We all appreciate you. And we're Lindsay. Lindsay. Oh my God, Lindsay, you've been dropping gems, man. We just appreciate you. Shay, that was a fantastic question. Miss Manifest, I'm always loving your energy. All my people in the place to be, man. I'm loving y'all. God bless y'all. Wish you all the best. Vassy, I missed majority of your Q&A, and I apologize, but I wanted to ask you this question, and I wanted to end off strong, right? So when you look at all the things that you accomplish in the music industry, right? What makes you different from any other artist? Is it your sound? Is it the way you dress? What makes you different from every other artist in your genre?
So many things. I mean, first of all, I'm in a boys' club. We tapped on this earlier, right? And it's a very boys genre. It's very DJ driven. I'm not a DJ. I'm not a boy. I am a woman. I'm an artist. I definitely don't look the part. I'm a little in the minority, and my sound is unique. It's different, and so I am, very different, and unique. And I think that's worked in my favor, but also has worked against me too. And I think that's always, that's going to be the case. And But I'm okay with my sound, and it's just me. I don't overthink it. It's very just authentically me. And there's a lot of really cool, unique artists out there, but I think that's been my special ingredient, for success. It's really just going back to what we talked about earlier. It's really about like I said to you guys, it's so this is it's just simple. I came here, I didn't know anyone, okay? I came to this country, I didn't have friends, I didn't have any family. I grew up in a little remote part of Australia. Literally, we had nothing there. I wasn't exposed to anything. Did I come here a little naive? Probably, yes. It would have helped if I was a little more aware of things and I could have protected myself a little better, because when I first came to the country, like we were talking about, a lot of people want to exploit you when you're young and you're talented and you're attractive and all these things. And they're like, oh, well, what I mean? And sometimes they want to exploit you for good reasons. It's not always bad stuff, but the bottom line is that you got to figure things out. Like, everyone has their own journey and it's all unique. The reason I'm telling you this is that if there's one thing I want us to all take away from this podcast, is that take my example and my story as a tool to use for inspiration to fuel you, in your life for what you want to do, what you're passionate about. I'm on my journey and I'm going to continue to do my thing. Um, but you guys have all joined for a reason, and that is to just hear something. Like I wanted to tune into things in the past, or listen to something, or read about someone's story so that I could take something from it and make it tangible and apply it to my life. Take whatever I took today that appealed to you the most and use it. If it's literally just one thing out of what we talked about, just use that. It's awesome. And collect bits and pieces from everything you get exposed to that you like, that resonates with you, and use it in your life to succeed and do the things that you want to do in your life that will make you happy. And that's ultimately the goal out of this. You just need to feel happy. You don't have to have millions of followers. You don't have to this, you don't have to that. Do what makes you happy. Do what obviously can, bring you in the bread and butter, and do it at however that makes you happy. So just stay authentic to yourself. It's so rewarding at the end of the day. I'm telling you, it may take a little longer, and you are going to face, rejections along the way, but don't worry about it. It's just all part of the story. For to be successful, you need to fail. I mean, any successful person has had their fair share of fails. So, and everything starts with a seed. Even Jeff Bezos, Amazon, he had that idea back in the day, and everyone was like, "What?" Okay, it helped. He probably had some money to start that idea, but my point is that it was an idea, and it's you that fuels the idea. So you are your best like tool, seriously, and reach in for yourself. Do whatever it takes to make yourself feel good and comfortable, whatever that is. Just do it. There's no right or wrong. There's no black or white way of doing this. It's the way you want to do it.
Woo-wee! Look, JT, that was a final strong question. That was a good one. Put a fire emoji in the chat if y'all enjoyed Vassy coming through today. If y'all enjoyed this interview, I'm gonna give it to Andrea, let her get some final words in, right? Because if it wasn't for Andrea, I would have never known Vassy. She would have never came to Media Mentors. So shout outs to Andrea, right? This has been a fire conversation. Blow it up in the chat if you guys enjoyed this. Andrea, over to you for any final words before I take us out of here. Vassy, we appreciate you. Media Mentorship. We can't wait to collaborate with you again, hear some more stories. Maybe we'll do some music stuff again inside this club, and we'll set it up with Andrea and you. And it'll be nothing but heat and fireness. So, Andrea, over to you for any final words, and then I'm taking us out. Let's go.
I just want to say thank you so much, Vassy. I have so much love for you as a person and as a woman and a creator. So I'm just so grateful that you decided to share your time with us. And the thing I want to also highlight is that these people here in this room, they're family. you know. And I want to encourage everyone to go show Vassy some love, connect with her, because it really is about community. That's what brought her here today. And the energy is always right, you know. I knew that it would be a great connection for everyone, it for her as well. So please support, because like Zach always says, support costs nothing, but it means everything. And Vassy, I just want to share some love with you and tell you how much I appreciate you. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Andrea. I love you too. And, you've been so amazing with me over the years. We've worked together on different things and we connected from the get-go. And you can tell when someone's really down to earth, genuine and real, and the loyalty is there. And that's another good thing. I mean, there's so many things we could have talked about, you guys, and so many stories and examples I could give you. And of course, without disclosing too much to protect my privacy too, but loyalty is important. Staying true and loyal to people that are good to you, like do that. But yeah, just don't forget, you guys, we're only here for a short period of time. And I think having lost my father at a young age, I realized that. And so sometimes if you get a bit down about life, like I know I could talk about my stories, but I'm here for you guys too. And this is, sharing so that I can help you guys somehow because, I've had people that help me. So however my talk can motivate you is the goal, right? I want to try to motivate you guys. But just remember, like, we're all going to die one day. I mean, I hate to be so literal, but we literally are. And sometimes it can happen like that. And I'm not trying to say that to be a buzz killer, but all I'm saying is that we just have our journey here is a short one, so just go for it and don't beat yourself up if shit doesn't happen. And just, I feel like once you change your attitude a little bit, like it's just kind of like, oh well, it is what it is, next, then things start changing up energetically and they just kind of, I don't know, they just flow in a different way. So give that a go too, and just, yeah, just don't get bad. But anyways, I'm here for you guys, so please, if you are Instagram, just make sure to follow me and DM, because some of the DMs I don't see, even in the junk folder. I don't know. It's so weird with Instagram. But I'm happy to, like, answer more questions or just whatever, be there to support you guys or listen to something or anything. I'm
Of course,
yeah.
Vassy, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna schedule you back in here and see if we can do some more different topics so you can expand on different things that you know in your industry that can help out more people. So I'll have Andrea contact you and see when you're next free again, so we can schedule you out another, room where you can come and help us run this over here. And it'll be great to support your new single that's coming out. You say you got some new stuff that's coming out, so it'll be great for you to come back and show us the new stuff and talk about some other things as well. So I'll have Andrea set that up with you. How does that sound, Vassy?
Of course, absolutely my pleasure, you guys. It was really fun and I really enjoyed everyone's energy. It was so beautiful. So for me, I'm walking away from this too going, oh man, I feel the vibes and I feel, people's frustration and struggles too. And we're all here for one another. So totally.
All right, y'all know what it is. Put a one in the chat if y'all enjoy Vassy. I'm taking us out now. We're about to be out of here. Andrea, I appreciate you. Right? Y'all know what it is with me. Right? Vassy, listen. We did great. Put a fire emoji in the chat. Let's go.
Show me darkness, baby, show me deepest. Oh, won't you stay for a while? I'll take you on a ride if you can keep a secret. Oh, won't you stay for a while? Show me darkness, baby, show me deepest.
Man, Vassy came through this spot and killed it. Oh my God. Yo, Andreas, shout outs to you. Shout outs to the whole media mentorship community. We're going to be going in tomorrow again. Right? Shout outs to Vassy. Shout out to everyone that was here. But tomorrow we're gonna be going in again, right? We're gonna be talking about this Meta phone service with my brother Fashawn. I cannot wait to talk about this with you guys. I cannot wait to dive in with you guys. And then we'll also be talking about a digital detox with Nick. And then we're coming in with Lindsay with a Friday room. I'm waiting. We're gonna load it up. Can't wait to load it up with you, Lindsay. Let's go. I need that title. And then we going all the way in. Next week we're gonna have a bunch of surprises, a bunch of great things going on. But shout outs to Vassy today. Make sure y'all going to VassyMusic.com. She could have been doing anything else, but she came to the media mentorship community. If you guys enjoyed this, get in the chat. Show me something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Get up in the chat. Go blow Vassy up. Go tag her on Instagram. Say, yo, you did great in the media mentorship community today. Because like I told y'all, she could have been anywhere else. And the fact that she came by is just epic, legendary. Andrea, you already know we're going to be networking, right? We're going to be networking. She's sending me over her number right now. See how we can do some more media work, press. Y'all know I'm doing to the TV. I'm not playing no games. So shout outs to Vassy. Shout outs to the media mentorship community. Shout outs to everybody that supported today. I seen everybody. I seen you guys coming through strong. Shout outs to Image. Shout outs to Queen. Shout outs to Shay. My sis Miss Manifest. Derek. Dante. What's good? Crypto. Always supporting JT. My sister Lindsay. Trisha. Beth. Jacob. Gavin. Patience. Minnie. Richard. Miss M. Heidi. Rihanna. Fitty. Mary. Uncle, look, we went in today. It was a fire ass room, yo. Y'all gonna see this right on StackPackPodcast.com. And if you want to get in contact with me, go to bookwithstack.com so we can take these relationships to the next level. Bookwithstack.com. Let's get that free 15-minute call and take everything to the next level. Social media, billboards, TV, actually taking your social media to the heights it deserves, right? Media is the way to go. This is why we built this media mentorship community out, man. I'm helping out so many people on media. I cannot wait, right? Helping people grow their YouTubes, helping people get in the next direction. Oh my God. I got a few new features coming out this week. Can't wait for you guys to see that. And all these episodes that's been on here weekly, right? Everything is going to be on the show, on Spotify, it's going to be everywhere. So every single, Andrea, you listening to me? Every single fire conversation, every conversation we had in the media mentorship will be on StackPackPodcast.com. So don't sleep on that. Go over there, go get the Andrea. What's up? Talk to me before I get up out of here. What's up?
I just want to say, Zach, thank you and thank you to everyone who joined. It's always good to have so much good energy, especially when you're building things. Please support Vassy. Go and send her a message of appreciation because, I mean, I'm just so grateful that she showed up to be here with us, and I'm grateful to every single soul that is in this room and who passed through. I just want to send so much love to all of you because it was such a great conversation. And I hope that when we leave here today, we're motivated to continue building what we're doing and using her message to fuel us as well. So thank you, everyone. And thanks, Stack, so much. It was a great room.
Man, you ain't got to thank me. We got it. It's okay. We needed to do this. Vassy came in hot. Go show her love. Show everybody on this stage love. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next room. 2 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. We don't do no weekend rooms. I'm out of
Stay a while, and I will make it worth your while, Stay a while, and I'ma go the extra mile, But if you wait until the lights go down, I got some tricks